Hey everyone, Anthony 4x4 Diesel. We're going to do, we've got a client here, he's complaining about a noise, so we're going to help you find a noise, give you a bit of background on this vehicle. I'll tell you what, it looks like it does some travelling by the looks of these stains. I know it's been up the Cape, because that's where I met him. And it turns out he lives around the corner. Anyway, and it's been across the Kimberleys, and mate, it's probably been everywhere by the look of all this red stain, and that's what we want to see. It's only done 230k. But it's got a noise, it's got a problem. Well, it's going to have another problem. You have a look at this one. Positive battery just rubbing right there. I don't like that. But anyway, that's another story. Let's get underneath the vehicle and have a look at what might be causing some noise. What's going on here, mate? Look at these tyres. Mate, come and have a look at these tyres. Really? How long did it take me driving this car to go tyres when I just wanted to turn around like in 50 metres? Look at that. There's nothing left of them, mate. Yeah. I'll show you why in a minute. See, the outside edges are pretty well flogged as well, but you've still got meat in the middle, so they wouldn't be gone. And this is, I think, one of the reasons. A lot of people complain about these tyres. I'll 100% agree they're wearing out way too quick, yeah? But how many Ks do you reckon these are done? 40. 40,000, yeah, that's rubbish, isn't it? And you look at that car, that's done blacktop in a straight line, hasn't got much more, but they're worn evenly because the suspension's not flogged, because I watched my own videos. Anyway. That's just off its head, right? So, and we'll go and have a look at the other one. Let's do that. Look, see, it does a bit off-road. Have a look at that, people. A little bit of bash and crash. Beautiful. Look, similar story here on the front one. See, on the inside and outside edges, they're both very similar, but there's a bit of meat. There's still a bit of meat in the middle. So if they worn evenly, and they were rotated front to rear regularly, you wouldn't see that. Let's go and have a look at the back one. Looking at these back tyres, they're in a lot better condition. I'd say they might have been on the front for a little bit, but they've been mainly on the rear, or the suspension's flogged out since these are, because yeah, there's a little bit, yeah, they've certainly done a lot more on the rear than the front. Let's go and have a look at that. Look at all that red stuff. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful. It's been around, mate. Hey, do you want to tell us what trips, where's this car been, besides the Cape and the Kimberleys and that?
All the way to Darwin up the centre.
Yeah. So did you go up the blacktop up the middle, or did you go up and down the Tanami at all?
Yeah, we did Unadada.
Oh yeah. So up the Unadada track, beautiful, nice.
All around all the ruin, west side, east side,
yeah.
Dollar Ranges and that.
So these tyres, they're actually.
Desert.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah. So it's been across there.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's what a Prado's for. Let you down anywhere?
Never.
No, there you go. Prado's, man, beautiful. Can't beat it. These back tyres are actually okay for a spare. They're sort of about half worn, but this is what they should all look like. Now, let's go and have a look underneath the vehicle and have a look at maybe why the tyres are worn like that. And okay, so this front tyre is off its head, and this is probably extreme, a bit like, you know, that one we did, the cracked piston and the tyres were flogged, you know, about a month ago. You would have seen in videos if you've been watching. If you haven't, subscribe and turn the bell on. It's your second biggest investment or cost in your life. For 10 minutes a day, you don't want to miss it, because you're just going to regret it. There's so many things you're not going to know about your vehicle if you don't watch 10 minutes a day. So I'll try and keep the video for 10 minutes for you. I've got 10 minutes for you, you should have 10 minutes for me. Okay, so tyres are flogged. People go, oh, these tyres are rubbish, they're noisy, or they're slippery in the wet. If you've got tyres that are worn like this, they should be slippery in the wet because they're flogged. Besides being only slightly compromised, I don't have any issues with my tyres. When they're worn like this, they're severely compromised. Not because they've got no tread left, but because the contact area of the tyre isn't very good. Hey mate, can I ask you just quickly, what are these like in the wet? Do they slide around a lot, or you had any issues, or not too?
I've noticed a bit of a decline.
Yeah. But just a bit of a decline? Really bad, or not too bad?
I'm pretty cautious because I have heard they're not great in the wet.
Yeah, so have you had any issues yourself, really?
No, I haven't really slid out or lost control or anything like that. It does feel a bit floaty.
Yeah, cool. Well, it should, right? And look, I'm not picking on the suspension, but it's just got TGM, people. Just TGM. And it's got bushes at the bottom of the struts that are flogged, and that's not going to cause this problem. There's going to be other bushes, right? Because how do we know? Because we've seen it on these before. It's done over 200,000 Ks. It's been absolutely, look at the bash and crash, right? You know what the bush is going to be like. So let's get under there and have a look. Is everybody ready for this? All right, that rear one, right? So it's split, it's in a fairway. It looks like it's twisted actually. Maybe someone's done a wheel on it and it's left it twisted. But the front one, I'm going to guess is, oh yes. The front one has a big control That's really smashed out, and the other one will be the same. Look at that, people. What a surprise, no? Okay, so we're getting to explaining this, because some people are going, tyre pressure, check your tyre pressures. Right, so the rear one's pretty well gone as well, right? You can see the splits left side, right side. So they're off their heads. So if I had to guess, I would say the owner of this vehicle hasn't seen many videos in the vehicle inspection playlist, inspections like what we're doing here on this vehicle, because people have seen it how many times? Put in the comments, 36 times about checking these bushes and the damage they can do to your tyres. So because these bushes or these arms haven't been changed and they're a regular wear and tear item, and these can be more compromised if your suspension isn't working right. So that's the next thing we'll be checking, bouncing the vehicle. But if you've got, you know, replaced arms at 250k, whatever, wherever it needed it, and you've got the right suspension. Well, we had that V6 in here. That V6, the bushes were pretty good, weren't they? Did you have a look? You just relied on me to do that check. Don't trust me, mate. I might forget too, right? So teamwork here. Anyway, on the V6, 330,000 Ks, wasn't it? Did you look at the odometer at least?
Yes.
And what was it?
332.
There you go. So 330, and I can tell you the bushes were pretty good. And that's because he had the OME suspension in there. And the OME, it's really firmly valved, which controls the bouncing. So when you're slamming all the speed humps and all that stuff, and the potholes, it doesn't flex as much. The less flex you got on these bushes, the longer these will last. These will last forever if you look after them. There's a tip for you, right? Yeah, so I already covered that one. You can pull that out if you want. TGM. Look, they could be a bit loose, these bolts as well. You see the rubbing? That's part of all the other noises we're hearing, there's rubbing. But the biggest noise we're hearing is these tyres are feathered off. They go voo, 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 because when you brake, it's this arm here, it's twisting, right, back and forward, obviously pulling out that way at the front, out that way. And when you accelerate, it pulls forward, and then your whole alignment's not right because the whole tyre's moving in and out, allowing this sort of wear to happen. Once you've got that sort of wear, you're going to get all sorts of noisy stuff going on. So these are rubbish. And he asked me, he said, you know, what tyres? Because everybody, I think we're all agreed now, everybody's cancelling out BFGs because the rubber's too soft. These Thailand things are just wearing out. The prices are up. They want $400 each. They're lasting half as long. They're worth about $150 each brand new, you know, 200 maybe, 250. 250, you think about it, if they last half as long, they're not even worth 250. They're not even worth $200. I'm not touching them. I'm never going to buy a BFG again unless it's old, second-hand, brand new, where I know the rubber's gone hard and they're going to last, you know. That's about the only ones I'll buy. So what would I be looking at? I'll be looking at the Yokohama range. Depends what suits you. I've seen some XATs on some cars, and the feedback, it's early days, but so far so good. Wild Peaks are not for me, but if I was going to do a lot more road driving, some dirt roads, some, you know, mainly touring, not rough tracks where I want traction, and not, you know, where I, you know, because there's been a few people with sidewall issues, and some people going, oh, you got to get this one, and you got to, whatever, right? I'm just not going there at the moment. I'm not saying they're a bad tyre, but they're probably just not for me. They are a little bit noisy even when they're new, because I've heard them on people's cars that have got new Wild Peaks, and I can hear them. They're louder than these when they're new, that's for sure. The other one I'll be looking at is the Toyos and the Nittos. It's a brand I've always liked, made in Japan, I believe. Check that out, could be wrong. The Toyo, the all-terrain, I haven't really liked the tread pattern. I've seen it for like 10 years, whatever. But I think there's a version 3, a third. I don't know much about these tyres, but it looks really good. I'll be having a good close look, you know, with my hands and eyes at a tyre shop at the Toyo, the all-terrain, whatever it is. People put in the comments. And yeah, the Yokohama. So the Yokohamas and the Toyo and the Nitto, the trail grapplers and the ridge grapplers, never had them, but they look like good tyres. Everybody I've ever asked is happy with them. They seem to last. I'm not a Cooper guy. I've seen too many problems with Coopers. Less than 10% of cars on trips, whether it's touring or out on the tracks, always are the ones, the Coopers seem to be the ones that have problems. I know people love them. A lot of people are lucky. Just because you're lucky doesn't mean they're good. The averages are. I'm not going to be doing Coopers. And I don't know what else to think of. Mickey Thompson's made in same factory as Coopers. I've had Mickey Thompson's, they delaminated, they got replaced under warranty. I won't be doing Mickey Thompson's again either. So yeah, I'll be trying something different. I've tried Kumos. I wouldn't be doing Maxxis and stuff like that. They're noisy. I've seen sidewall punches again, low percentage amount of tyres used. And yeah, so look, let's just have a look around, bit of inspection on this. I've been waffling along. So let's have a look, see what else we can find and come back to you. Okay, so the other problem was, you can see the rubbing on the tail shaft here. There was a few noises going on in this car because that's obviously come unclipped for whatever reason, and there's so much mud and grease in there from this tail shaft that, yeah, it's hard to clip in. You want to have a go. See if you can clip it in, otherwise we've got to clean all this. See, there's all this mud and stuff in there. So you try and clean that and clip that in, and I'll show everybody else the other problems we've found. Okay, so that needs to be clipped in so it's not rubbing on there. The only other issue is 2 more issues. We've got the transfer case leak at the front seal, right? Mud, dirt, dust gets in there. People wash things, pushes dirt in there, or it could be just luck of the mud, dirt and dust. But anyway, that front seal, so propeller shaft at the front needs to come out, and that seal needs to be replaced. Not a big deal. New transfer case oil while you're at it. A few $100 and that's all sorted out, or you can DIY it. Not a big deal. And last but not least, no, 2 more things actually. See these rubber things, once they crack and fall apart, just rip it off and throw it in the bin. That's what we just did. This one over here was hanging from, what did you say when you did the alternator? Good work not putting it back in. Anyway, I convinced him, he allowed me to rip it off and get rid of it. So now you've got awesome inspection area. You don't need those silly things there. Once they're gone, they're gone. It's an older vehicle, they're just not needed. I'm not going to argue about it. It's just what it is, all right? You just don't need it, simple. Now, these upper arms are genuine, and we like genuine. We don't see any issues with them. But when there's a little bit too much travel, or maybe it's hitting the spring, maybe I don't know what's going on, a bit of movement there to do with these, could be to do with these bottom bushes as well. Bit of damage on the inside of the boot there, so beware of that. I probably wouldn't change them yet, but they're not going to last too well with split open boots like that, and it's probably going to be too hard to change the boot. The arms are expensive. I don't know what to do there. It's probably going to end up with aftermarket ones maybe. I don't know if you can get the ball joint or not. You must be able to. I can see a clip there. So we must be able to buy the upper ball joint, can we? Someone let me know in the comments so then I don't have to go and do any homework. So what would I do here? I'd get some new tyres. I'd personally put Dobinson suspension in because I don't like tough dog. And this stuff's been in there for ages anyway. So it's due for replacement. So new suspension, new tyres, new lower control arms. I'd test out some of the cheap good options that we've got available that we've been trialling. The upper arms, I'd see if we can get the upper ball joint. It's going to drive heaps better with new upper ball joint, new lower arms, new Dobinson suspension, new tyres. It's going to be like a bloody new car. Drive shafts look okay. I'll probably get some, yeah. So do not bother K-on, but just secretly, I know that the Strenix for the 150 Prados will be coming soon, but they need to finalise the design and stock up. So stay tuned. I'll let you know when it comes out. I'll be waiting for that and getting some of that by the looks of this bash and crash. I'd be upgrading to that. And these bushes, and that's it. And that's a video. Subscribe, turn the bell on so you don't miss the next one. We've got more cars, more people. Catch you on the next video. See ya.